Hello, 88.9 The Bridge. My name is Gill, and I do a show with Evan and Azad called Power Predictions.
Azad here. Our show is a sports show, and we talk everything sports.
Expect updates on fantasy, games, and players every week.
If you are in the car listening to 88.9 The Bridge, expect to hear us on Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
And if you are watching our show on our YouTube channel, you'll get an awesome video every Friday
on the latest and greatest sports news.
Thanks for joining us on Power Predictions, and hope you enjoy this episode.
Even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night.
My name is Gil MacDonald, and I'm joined with Dylan Shobe and Noah Perlman for another Pigskin Pick'em. This is Power Predictions. If you're listening on YouTube, please consider like and subscribing. Okay, and let me ask you guys, what is up with so many picks last week? I felt like Joe Burrow, everyone was throwing picks. Tyrod Taylor.
I don't know. Defenses were just hunting down the quarterbacks.
Matthew Stafford, 2 interceptions, too. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
I say we talk about the Rams next week, then. I think that's a perfect little segue. Monday night game.
That's the Monday night, yeah.
Rams versus the 49ers. 49ers didn't look too good. George Kittle was back, though. Just a messy game for the 49ers.
Yeah,
I believe I went with the Rams here.
I believe so also.
I'm definitely taking the Rams here just because
yeah.
Matthew Stafford. I mean, they didn't have a good game against the Titans, which is good, and it gives me hope for when we play them. Because maybe, who knows, maybe we can come out and stop Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, and the Titans' defense was just electric, right? Forced a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
Defense itself scored 14 points, I think.
They were playing really well, their defense as well, and that won them the game.
Yeah, and I think the question is, though, will the offense be able to sustain and score more points? Because they scored when they needed to, but overall that was a defensive game for the Titans to win there. Titans versus New Orleans Saints. Who do you guys have?
For the Titans versus the New Orleans Saints, this game, I wouldn't be surprised this is really close for no reason.
Same.
No,
I agree with that. Definitely.
It's just weird. Did you guys watch the Titans last week about the run and watch the run game a little bit? I didn't. So, if you could tell me.
It was
what they kind of did
really.
About that.
There was really nothing. There was a waste time touchdown with Adrian Peterson, and I mean he got one, but
good for him.
All Adrian Peterson was just an older, slower version of his past self, which we expected, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean that makes sense. The guy's not young anymore. I mean he's not going to be performing how he was in his prime, and I think after the Titans have shown what they did to the Rams, I think they're definitely going to win this game because I think they realized what they're capable of. Because the Rams are one of the best teams in the league right now, and they just shut down Matthew Stafford, which is good.
Yeah, I'm with the Titans here. I don't know how I feel about this Saints QB. If he can really captain this team to beat a 7-2 team, I don't think so.
Totally agree. And without Derrick Henry, the Titans had to shift their offense.
Yeah.
They did, and they did it pretty well.
Yeah, and they worked out. They succeeded.
They still have A.J. Brown, obviously.
Okay, let's go to the Cowboys, who lose last week. Dylan, got to give him a shout-out.
That was good.
He picks the Broncos,
they were
beating
up
the Cowboys.
27-0 in that game a while.
Teddy Bridgewater goes crazy.
Wild.
Cowboys, it's just an off week, I believe. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's had a great game.
I think it's an off week also. I mean, I honestly don't know what happened. Dak Prescott was back also, and it was poor. They just played really bad. And that cost them the game, but I know that they're not losing to the Falcons. The Falcons coming off a game-winning field goal with Younghoe Koo.
Yep.
Youngway
Koo, whatever. Same thing.
And Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, 28 points in that fantasy game. It was really impressive. He really showed out without Calvin Ridley, too. Super impressive. He played really well. But I believe he won't be able to replicate it against this better defense.
I'm rocking with the boys here.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Indianapolis Colts. 95% picking the Colts, and I agree with that.
I'm smiling at Noah in this room because he's going to hate me.
There's no
I am
way.
taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat Indianapolis Colts at Lucas Oil.
Jaguars,
Let's go.
Sure. They won one game against one of the best teams in the league right now. The
Bills,
Bills, actually.
Let's go.
In a game 9-6, which is ridiculous.
This is the start.
That was not the start.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You realize?
Shut it.
No,
the Jags
you saw what happened. They only put up 9
Carson
points.
Wentz is
yes,
buns,
the Bills
bro.
were horrible, and that was just a bad game in general. But once again, the Jaguars only scored 9 points. I know for a fact that will not stop the Colts. There's no way.
They're going to beat the Colts.
No.
Also in a week where there were a lot of interceptions thrown in the NFL, Trevor Lawrence, 0 interceptions, but also 0 touchdowns. 15 for 26, 118 yards. I mean,
It's not great either.
Wasn't a good game. Jacksonville just barely squeezes out this win. Buffalo Bills, as we know, are a great team. The NFL was just super weird last week. And to go off teams with talent, that's usually the safest bet. Buffalo Bills have a lot of talent, whereas the Jacksonville Jaguars really don't.
Hey, man, stop hating on the Jags.
I'm just saying. The Colts, I believe the Colts have way more talent.
So do I.
Screw the
Jonathan
Colts.
Taylor has a huge
Jonathan
week
Taylor just
also
went
in fantasy.
off. They had a really good game, so.
You ain't even ready for this Jags team.
Okay,
All right,
you got to pick
next
upsets,
game.
though, so I do respect that
Next
pick.
game.
Now this is going to be the hardest one, I think, of the
I
week.
think it's the hardest of the week.
Cleveland Browns versus the New England Patriots.
I went the Browns here.
Browns.
Yeah.
I think Browns as well.
I think the Pats, they look good, but I don't know. I think this Browns
I know
team's
what
going to
you
give
mean.
it to them.
I know what you mean.
They
and
look
I
really
just think-
good, but
I
I
just
don't
think
know.
the Browns will not lose.
I just have a feeling about the Browns.
And I think, Nick Chubb, he went off last week. They don't have Odell Beckham anymore, but obviously that didn't matter because they just killed the Bengals.
Yeah, 41-16 on that game.
Yeah.
9.8 average carry for Nick Chubb. So, yeah,
Really
wild
good game.
there.
Outstanding.
They should have Kareem Hunt returning, I believe, this
Really?
week. So,
Wow. Their
with all of
backfield is
that,
No,
I
I
think
don't
it's-
believe so.
Somebody at lunch told me that. So
No,
I'm gonna rock
he's
with
coming
it.
off. He's coming off IR, but that doesn't
Man,
necessarily
you
mean he's
can't
going to
believe
play.
everyone at the first lunch table.
Exactly, first lunch table.
I do
risky.
anyway, but I'm just saying, like, I don't
Very
know.
risky. Okay, but I believe for this game, Browns have a really good game against the Bengals. I'm going to go with the Patriots, though. I just like what I'm seeing from them. They've had 2 consistent, really good weeks. Bill Belichick, he's learned how to coach this team. He's doing
What
some
do you mean
new
he's
stuff.
learned how to coach this team?
Like,
He's been coaching this team.
I know, but he has. What I'm saying is he has.
Yeah, sure,
he's
he does
right in
have
a
Mac
way.
Jones.
It's
He
a
does
new
have
team.
Mac
Let me
It's a
talk
new
about
team.
this. He has a new team with
I
new
get what
running
you're saying,
backs,
sure.
right? He used to always have the same style. He'd start a veteran
Right.
running back. Tom Brady would just carry the game. But now he's thrown into a new situation, and I believe he's
He
evolving
has
from it.
adapted to it. I'll give you that. I'll give
So
you that.
that's my argument.
It just
for the
sounded funny
Patriots.
at first,
I know
that's
it
all.
did. I worded it weirdly, but let's go on to the next game. I'm taking the Patriots, though. It's my upset for the week. Not a big one, though. Buffalo Bills versus the Jets.
Not happening again.
No, I'm
way.
taking the Jets right now.
We say it
I'm
every
kidding,
week.
I'm kidding.
I
No,
know.
I'm
We
taking
say
the
it
Bills.
every. We
I
always
love
say it
the
every
Bills.
week. It's not going to happen, but
I
it does
love
happen.
the Bills.
It does happen, but it doesn't happen 2 times in a row. It
No,
doesn't.
they're not going to lose.
That's unheard
Next
of.
game.
I agree. Next game, Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
As much as I want the Lions to get their first win here, I don't think this is the week again.
Neither do I.
I think they go 1-9 after this one. I think they'll
wow.
probably win.
Honestly?
Wait, skip to the next week. Who do they play next week?
Okay,
I don't think they'll win against the Steelers here. The Steelers look really strong
Yeah,
last
do.
night.
They do,
And-
but also the Bears are not.
I picked the Bears. I was so pissed about that, but it's whatever.
I
It's in the
picked
past.
the Bears as well, and really, you picked the Bears because that kicker was going to have a shorter field goal,
Cairo
right?
Santos.
Dude, it looked like it hit the
65
goalpost,
yards.
Yeah,
and then,
it did.
I was
they
watching
showed
that.
the other angle, and it was like 5 yards short. It was
Yeah.
like, what?
Oh, it didn't hit the goalpost?
No, everybody thought it did, but they showed another clip. It was like 5 yards short.
But still, a couple of feet would have changed that field
Yeah,
goal a
you're
lot.
right.
Mentally,
Exactly.
physically,
But
all the
didn't have
components
that
of
feat.
kicking. But I believe that the Bears, most of the time, are going to win that game. It was just Justin Fields led his team down with 26 seconds left
Most
after
of
the
the time we're going to
Steelers.
win that game. I think the Steelers most of the time will win that.
I believe not. I feel like the Bears came in and they just they played really well.
I mean, sure, yeah, they did. I mean, the Steelers had a good drive. The Steelers had a good drive to kick the field goal at the end of the game, and then the Bears had a decently good drive as well. But it wasn't.
And how
good
about
enough.
that taunting call? Did you guys see that?
That was ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
calls are
And
bogus.
also, did
They're
you see
just
when the Bears
bogus.
player bumps into the referee barely, right?
Yes,
like
I
you're
did
running
see
past
that.
him, he throws a flag. Refs were absurd that game, but
Go to the next week for a second. I want to see the Lions play in week.
we're
10.
sticking. We're sticking
Bro,
to week 10
come on,
right
I'm
now.
trying to
We'll
see.
do later. Buccaneers, Washington football team, Bucks. I mean, there's.
I'm with Washington here. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Why?
This is where
I
this is
don't
where
know
Tom Brady
why.
loses.
Let's hear
I
it.
don't know
Why?
why.
Because you
Here's my
haven't
reason.
made the picks.
Gut feeling.
Listen,
Boom.
they're both
Gut
coming
feeling.
off bye weeks, so sure, they're both very
Terry
well
McLaurin,
rested.
200-yard game right here. I'm
I
kidding,
would
I'm
love
kidding.
that for my fantasy
But
team,
like
and
probably
I would
like
also love
100-yard,
Mike
100-yard
Evans to
game,
go off.
100-yard game.
And I think there's no way the Bucks
No,
are
they lose
losing
this
to the
game.
Reds, the Washington
lose this
football
game.
team. Okay.
Get
Hey man, it's Veterans Day weekend. You got Washington
True.
D.C. flying it up.
hyped up.
That's my only
The
reason.
Vets and they're home, and they are home. Might have to
Okay,
switch
home
that
doesn't
pick.
matter
Let's
against
go.
the GOAT.
Wow.
Rocket Big Go. Let's go.
Playing
I'm
Tom
fine.
Brady.
Let's go.
Honestly, the
He loves
veterans are going to
Washington,
hype
though.
them up.
This guy loves Washington.
I mean, I'm from
You
there,
always
right?
pick them on some weird games.
No, you always pick these guys. But
No,
let's
I
go.
don't. I
Let's
don't
go to the
pick these
Panthers,
guys. Look at my
Cardinals.
picks.
Cardinals. This is one where upset
This is where the
won't
Cardinals
happen.
win
Yeah,
for sure. If you were gonna
Chase
bet,
Edmonds is actually doubtful, but honestly, that doesn't matter. I mean,
no, James Conner had 4
yeah,
TDs, right?
I know.
42
Nuts.
points or something like
He
that.
went
Yeah,
off.
I think he had 40.
They put him in at the goal line, and he gets in every time. He's just like
Well, not
that.
even that. He had some 40-yard run, right? Where he just got through people.
Sure,
Like, he's
yeah,
a
that's
good
what's
running
gonna
back.
happen when Chase Edmonds is out. He's gonna replace him, and he's gonna do his job.
Yeah, the Panthers lost to whatever bad team last week. They just look really rough. And if
Yeah.
you were going to bet
McCaffrey was
$100,000
back,
on a
too.
game, this would be it. The Cardinals are covering spread and winning this one money line.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings, Los Angeles Chargers. Who do you guys have? This is a harder
Chargers
game.
have a bad
think-
game, honestly.
They had a
I
really
don't
rough
know
game.
what I went with here.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers just because they're better than the Vikings. The Vikings had a good game last week
But
against.
I don't see the Vikings going 3-6 though.
really.
It's such a
That's what
bad record for them.
They're not that good.
Yeah, they are.
are.
They almost beat the Ravens.
They
Almost.
beat the Ravens. You're right.
Almost by 3.
Maybe I'll go with the Vikings.
And
It's
they
so
beat,
hard.
Dang.
They beat somebody good
And Kirk
the week
Cousins-
before.
Let's mention Kirk Cousins. He's having a great season.
I think I'm going with the Chargers. I can't change.
I'm
my
going with the
minds.
Vikings.
Okay.
I'm all over the
I
Vikings.
couldn't even tell
here.
you who I picked. I forgot. So
And the
Well,
Ravens
think
had a
it's
you
good.
the
could
Vikings,
choose now.
though.
You think
Ki-
you picked the
no,
Vikings?
I'm not going to change it.
Let's
No.
remember though, really quickly, Ravens have a really good
According
game.
to-
But besides Lamar Jackson, who kind of throws the ball away, but Ravens still put up a lot of points. Vikings stuck with them the whole game.
The thing
I'm
with
gonna
the
go with
Ravens, is it seems like they make every game close, no matter who they play.
True.
Thing is, though, it's a tough stadium to play in away.
SoFi. Yeah, you're
It
right.
is.
Huge.
You're right. We'll
See how many celebrities go to those games?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
because
post
it's
on
everybody
Instagram.
from LA.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Still, but I don't know. Still, just there's so many celebrities. Okay, but let's go.
Oh,
Broncos,
this
Eagles,
is going to be a really
Broncos.
close game.
Broncos.
Ooh, I don't
I
know.
think
Coming
it's
off
gonna
a
be
good
close.
win against the
I
Cowboys,
think I went
I think
with,
they're going to be excited to keep playing. And
I
they're
went the
beating
Eagles here. I went the Eagles here.
Eagles coming off a loss to the Chargers.
Yeah,
I'm going with the
close
Eagles.
one with that,
I went
though.
with the Eagles here.
I don't think the Eagles have enough. I don't think they have enough.
I'm taking the Broncos as well.
You can never trust either of these teams. That's why this
Yeah.
pick sucks.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100%.
It's 'cause I
right.
hate
This is
both
gonna
of
go.
them.
This could go
Pick 'em.
either way. You're right. You're
You know who
definitely
Mr. Bryant, our radio teacher's picking.
He's going with
So,
the Eagles probably.
best of
I'm,
luck
I'm
for
rocking
him.
with Joe.
Let's go Seattle Seahawks, Green Bay Packers. 82% picking the Packers. Aaron
You already know
Rodgers
where I'm
will
going with
return
this.
on Saturday.
Okay, Mr. Seattle.
Russell Wilson is back.
It's time to turn off his mic.
Absolutely. He is excited and he loves beating Aaron Rodgers. He loves it. Sure, it's
away.
82%.
It's that Lambeau field, man.
Oh, trust
Lambeau.
me,
Let
I
that
know.
sink in.
I know.
Let the sink
Let's
in.
let Mr. Seahawk hype up the
I
Seahawks
think.
fans.
Okay,
I
fine.
mean,
He's
yeah,
got a
Chris
segment
Carson's
here.
not
Let him
back,
go.
but all that matters is Russell Wilson's back, and I think that is going to be very clutch. It's really going to be hard to beat Aaron Rodgers. We saw last week. Sadly,
Is he even playing,
Jordan
though?
Love
He's
was-
questionable.
who?
Aaron Rodgers. Is he coming back?
He's
No,
gonna be-
he is
he'll be
Saturday.
back. He'll be
But
back.
Okay.
that's another argument, though, right? Aaron
Also,
Rodgers
he's not
will
going to be
fresh.
practicing. He's not
unionized,
going to be
man.
practicing
He
as
will
much.
not be practicing.
So we'll see.
I know this
We'll
is going to
see.
be a close game, right?
Oh,
I
Yes,
know.
it is gonna be a
I
close
know
game.
it's
I
going to
want
be a
the
close game.
Packers.
It's up to field goal.
Also,
I know that.
At
Yeah,
the time
you
we're
already
recording
know.
this, Odell Beckham is still free agent, so there's
Dude,
a possibility that we will
OBJ
sign
is
him. I'm just
washed
saying.
up.
Let's go to another hard game to pick. Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City
Raiders.
Chiefs. I'm all over the Raiders. I don't know why people are hyped up about the
I'm
Chiefs.
with the Chiefs here.
They played a really bad quarterback in Jordan Love.
And they
He
barely
was flustered
won.
and
Hey,
barely.
13
bro,
to
I'm
7.
going with the Chiefs.
I
Bounce
have
back
no
week.
confidence
Bounce back
in the
week.
Chiefs.
Zero.
Bounce back
Sure,
week.
it's a bounce back week. These teams are rivals, and I know that it's an off year for the Chiefs
Yeah.
because in the past few years, when the Chiefs have lost 2 or 3 games, at least one of those games is to the Raiders because they have such a tough time playing the Raiders, and I think this could
I
go
don't
either
actually
way.
know who I went with.
I think they could go either way, but I'm going to
forgot.
stick with the Raiders.
I respect
I
it.
might have done either.
I really like our picks this week. We all gave some
You didn't
pretty
even
big
make those
upsets.
yet.
The Jags
pick
for
those?
Dylan. What are we saying is the one upset you feel really strongly about? I
Oh,
feel
the Jags
Pats
and the Colts.
The Pats I feel
1000%.
strongly
You
Yeah,
feel
about.
the Jags and the
strongly about
Colts.
that?
I
Wow.
feel strongly about
What about
the
your
Pats.
Washington football team?
Hey, man, we feel pretty
I
strong
might
about
change that
man.
pick once we end. Once we end, I might change it back. But hey,
You already did it. You can't change it back, man.
Sure you can.
that
Nope.
ends our Pigskin Pick'em, though. Thank you for joining us once again on Power Predictions. We'll be getting videos out weekly. And if you're on 88.9 The Bridge, you know we're here every Tuesday. Love talking about football. Picks are going to be good this week. hope to see you next time on 88.9 The Bridge.